Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Wednesday night. I'm going to talk about several different things. I'm going to talk about preparing for the unthinkable. I'm also going to talk about how we should respond to something that I think you guys are noticing as well, is that this world is just getting darker. It seems like it's getting darker by the week, almost by the day. And it's not just United States. It's not just North America. It's pretty much everywhere. So how do we respond to that? What can we do? We can do some things, definitely. We can do some positive things. I'll talk about that. And I'm going to share a good passage as well that will be uplifting, definitely. All right. But first, the weird weather continues. I know here, looking out this window right now, it's 8:15 p.m. here, and it's like a fall day out here. It's been I don't know if it got above 70 degrees here today, 70 Fahrenheit, and it's kind of cool. It's rain. We've had rain. I forgot what the sun looks like here, so but I looked ahead. Looks like the heat is coming in. It's going to get to us by the weekend. Definitely, it's coming. But a lot of rain. I mean, we are waterlogged here. We really are, y'all. We're supposed to get another day or two of it. I know some of you are mired in the heat wave now, though, as well. I hear in Texas there is a heat wave coming in there. I hear about power outages. Thousands are without power in Mississippi as well. I saw where the Texas power grid operator is asking the public to cut down on their power. Good luck with that, because this heat wave is just socking in there and it's straining the power grid. And it's just, what, June 21st, the official first day of summer? What's the rest of the summer going to look like if they're struggling now with the power grid? That's my question. They say there is big delays in restoring power. That's a concern, that people have gone days and days now without power. And they mentioned Mississippi as well. If you're in these states, let us know what you're experiencing. Are you one of the ones out of power? Without power, how are you dealing with it? Of course, as preparedness folks, this is something we should be prepared for. Even if you are prepared for it, it can be uncomfortable. It will be uncomfortable. So not an easy thing to go through, definitely. So check your stock, check your preps, especially if you live in the South and you could be subject to some of these blackouts or these power outages. Okay, it's a good reminder. Check your preps for power out. That could happen anytime, anywhere, though, the way this world is going. So let us know what you're experiencing out there. Um, but I'm getting more concerned about, and I know a lot of people are not following this, but I'm 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 trying to hedge it. I'm trying not to really get overly concerned. But in Europe, the war that's going on over there, and there's more and more saber rattling. The rhetoric is building up. More threats to use nuclear weapons. It's like there's so many threats to do it. People are just turning it off, not even paying attention. But we should be paying attention to it a bit. Um, because one morning it could slap us right in the face, right upside the head when we get up, wake up one morning. It really could. When we hear the news of something like this happening, popping off, that's my concern. The ones in power, especially here in North America, they continue to poke the bear that also possesses the most nuclear weapons just about in the world. I mean, what are they thinking? They're not thinking. Or maybe they are thinking. And the only thing I can figure is that it is intentional. They must have their preparedness plan. I mean, they'll I guess they'll be deep underground, but we continue to provoke. We do. I say we, but the ones in power here. We need to prepare on some level for that. And you're like, Dawg, how do I prepare for something like that? That's a good question. I think first and foremost, we should prepare spiritually and psychologically. Spiritually, for sure. I mean, that's number one. Pray, worship, get closer to God, keep close to God, Jesus. Psychological level, let's just say there's a full-on nuclear exchange, or pretty close to it. What do you do to prepare for that? I think that's where the spiritual preparedness comes in, because I'm not sure I want to survive something like that, depending on your location. Now, if there's just one or two of these hit, or something like that, that's different depending on where you are, where you live. That could still trigger a massive SHTF, okay, everywhere. A lot of people do not understand this. A lot of people are not even following this, and they're not prepared. The unprepared, if something like this pops off, even on a limited scale, the unprepared will become very dangerous, because first of all, they'll be very pissed, and they will become the marauders. Most of them will. They could be some of, if not the most dangerous out there, because they have no preps. They're not prepared. They're going to come to you. They're going to come to your doorstep. You need to be ready for that. They would be in full on panic. Okay. Full on panic. Let's face it, even if you are prepared, that will be a very stressful situation, to say the least, even if it's just a limited exchange. You know what I mean? So that's something we need to be thinking about. I know it's not something pleasant to think about. It really isn't. This world, we each day we see that it's an upside down mess. There are nefarious forces at work. It's almost like every day we hear of some kind of plan by some three-letter agency somewhere, or organization somewhere over there. It's like sometimes I feel like I'm in a combination of the Twilight Zone and an old bad James Bond movie, where some little guy somewhere is plotting to take over the world or something. That's what it seems like to me. Like those old, what was it? Those Goldfinger, the old movies that were kind of a spoof. I don't know if I'm saying the right name of it, but so what do we do? What do we do about it? Well, we do the things. We keep doing what we're doing. We keep preparing. We keep preparing our homes, our minds, our spirituality, our preps, all those things, of course. But there's something else we can do. As most of us are people of faith, most of us are Christians, not all, and that's okay. I'm glad that if you're not, I'm glad you're here and watching, ask questions. But as people of faith, for the most part, we can be the light. We are the remnant here. We are not following the deceived masses. And we can set the example. We can live the example, be that example in action for others to see. Okay. We can do the things. We can do the right things. We can extend grace. We can extend kindness. At the same time, though, we must stand firm to our convictions and be ready to defend ourselves at any time. We can do both. We can do that. Be hyper aware, It's to the point where any time we go anywhere in public, no matter where we are, you definitely got to be aware of who's around you. Even if you're in a safe town. Doesn't matter anymore. It just doesn't matter. In the news every day, it's just craziness, don't you? I mean, when you hear about all these things going on here and there, these celebrations turn violent, and it's not just in the big, large cities, So it seems to be increasing, and it's so much, so often. that we are desensitized. It's like, oh, there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. It's like, okay, it's like it's a regular thing. It shouldn't be. Okay, I've gone on about that probably enough. Share your thoughts on this stuff. That's heavy, I know. A good verse. All right. Psalm. This one just jumped out at me for some. Just I just felt I need to read this. Psalm chapter 139, verse 12 says, "Even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is bright as the day, for darkness is as light with you." And this just speaks of God's light. God's light is always with us, no matter what we're going through, no matter where we go. And he never leaves us. He never forsakes us. He is always chasing us down, and he will continue to, thankfully. Thankfully. So, again, share your thoughts. I hope the verse was helpful. Let's keep our preparations going, but let's also live our life, do the things. Okay? So be safe. God bless you. I'll see you soon.